We turn next to an ABC News exclusive tonight. We are just back this evening from Paris, where we were given an exclusive look inside Notre-Dame Cathedral after that devastating fire. The world, of course, watched in horror, praying, asking, would the cathedral be saved? Tonight, what we found inside. It was 1 month ago this week, the flames leaping from Notre-Dame Cathedral. The spire engulfed, and then the moment it came down. The spire collapsed along with the hearts of the people of Paris and the world. The images of the firefighters racing to save the relics are still haunting. We traveled to Paris to see what remains. Under a gray sky, the cathedral on that tiny island in the center of Paris. We soon see the flashing lights, police still keeping everyone away. But we have been invited here by the retired general, put in charge by the French president to rebuild Notre-Dame.
General.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is the first time he has invited anyone in.
You have been tasked with, well, some would say the impossible.
Nothing is impossible to a French general.
The workers here wear protective suits and masks. 400 tons of lead were lost in that fire. He takes us deep into the cathedral, and then we see it.
This is the wood of the top part of the spire.
This is the top of the spire right here.
Right beside us, the spire the world witnessed pierced that roof.
That was the moment the world gasped in horror.
Yes, this is the moment when everybody's people.
We stand in the shadow of one of the giant holes in the cathedral's roof. We could see the rain coming right through. And on top of the debris, the robot, because of the danger.
It's a robot because people cannot go here. Right. We cannot expose the life of the workers.
This is just remarkable that this was saved.
The stained glass, the giant rose windows survived, 42 feet across. And there is another question so many have asked. What about the organ? Through this small doorway, we climb the stairs to the upper level of the cathedral.
Wow.
Much of it untouched.
This is it. It survived.
The great organ, 8,000 pipes. It's believed a small number of them even date back to the 13th century.
They're going to be examining each of the pipes of this great organ to make sure that they haven't been permanently damaged. But just to give you an idea, you can't help but notice the ash and likely lead in here as well that remains, the soot all over the cathedral, part of the restoration that lies ahead.
On top of the keys, a layer of dust. And we notice the sheet music that still says Holy Week, the last time the organ was played. Back downstairs, we had heard of something else.
This is the pillar right here?
Yes.
On that pillar right between us, once stood a statue of the Virgin Mary. She was saved during the fire, and he says he's about to give us a view of her, not seen since the 14th century. We could now see into her eyes, something not possible because of centuries up on that pillar.
And no one has been able to sort of look at it at eye level until this moment.
Yeah. So it's a privilege.
So much has been saved here.
It's really just an extraordinary sight. You can see the historical altar here in the cathedral is intact. It was saved here behind me, despite the fact that right over my shoulder you can see part of the spire here on the floor of the cathedral. And here you can see the choir completely intact. They'll just simply have to clean the wood. And of course, this is the part of the cathedral that most people who travel from all over the world would know. The altar for Mass is on the other side of me here. That was destroyed in the fire. And if you look far to the back of the church, to the top there where the organ is, one of the great stained glass windows survives.
And we asked the general about that early symbol of hope, the cross seen in the hours after the fire. He takes us to the front of the church.
Wow.
And there we see the cross still standing.
General, this is the cross that the world saw.
Yes, the entire world saw the cross of God shining despite the fire.
There was so much hope that next morning when people saw the cross, the smoke still rising in the cathedral, but that it was still intact. Still intact, and so much hope inside that cathedral. We thank the general for that tour, and we were also given access
To the statues of the 12 apostles that were removed just days before the fire. Here they are right here. They had been on the roof of the cathedral. They were saved simply by the timing of it all. And we'll have much more on this effort to rebuild the cathedral tonight on Nightline.